he didn't know how to manage his emotions, so he started hitting himself. And he's absolutely fine with noise, but in the classroom, I think he's so triggered by the other kids, he didn't know how to manage his emotions, so he started hitting himself.
But they used to force him to wear ear defenders at school so much that he'd have marks on his face from the ear defenders.
A dent in his head, and he still does, because there's no, so we do everything, we go everywhere, and I knew there was some way we could help him, because I tried so many different things. So when I came about you, and I was like, this actually makes sense, and it feels real, it feels like it can work, and it did work. And I know if you can keep it up and make it consistent, you will continue to see changes in your child, as we did.
Hi, Aisha. Thank you so much for doing this video testimonial. So your son was 10 years old in year 5 when he started the program.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me why you wanted to do the program? What was he like beforehand?
Well, there was a lot of self-harming behaviors in school. There was a lot of triggers in school. Communication, social language, all this was a big issue for us. And we were on medication as well for his ADHD. Just a lot of behaviors, a lot of tics. Just, yeah, these are the main worries that I had before we started the program. And I knew there was some way we could help him, because I tried so many different things. And I came about yourself. So yeah, we started the program.
I remember one of the things you really wanted to treat was his self-harm. So I remember
Yes.
you saying he'd come back with a bruise on his face every single day. Like
Yeah, it was like a bruise on top of a bruise, yeah. Because school didn't really know or have the strategies in place to help him. They didn't quite understand where this behavior was coming from. Um, and then they realized it was the other kids' stims and sounds that they were making that was triggering him in class. So yeah, they didn't know what the trigger was. They just kept saying to him, "Look, there's nothing wrong. No one's doing anything. It's okay." By that time, he was just so overwhelmed, and he just couldn't. He didn't know how to manage his emotions, so he started hitting himself.
I
Right.
also remember they used to force him to wear ear defenders at school so much that he'd have marks on his face from the ear defenders.
Oh yeah, he had like a dent in his head, and he still does, because there's no. So we do everything. We go everywhere. We go to a lot of places. And he's absolutely fine with noise, but in the classroom, I think he's so triggered by the other kids. But it only comes about after a few weeks of starting school. So let's say once he's back from summer holidays, for the first few weeks or the first month or so, he's fine. And then all of a sudden, he'll start showing this behavior. And that's because I think the sounds become so repetitive and consistent. It's like
Yeah,
if I was tapping on the table every second next to you every day,
yeah.
you'd eventually say enough. And because he doesn't have that ability to he can actually, now he does say stop it. He's able to do that now, but he wasn't before. So that's where the self-harming came about, because
Um,
he just could not communicate his emotions and what he wanted.
I also remember the school kind of forced you to put him on ADHD medication.
Yeah, I mean, we initially thought, okay, maybe medicine to help. And then we just saw that he was like a zombie, basically. He was just zoned out, just kept freezing, not replying to anything, not hearing us, completely unaware of his surroundings, not engaging in anything. He was just like frozen. So I was like, no, this is not right. I want my son back, I don't want him to be like this. So because before we were on medication, yes, he had a lot of difficulties, but he was still happy. So I couldn't see him happy anymore. There were no emotions whatsoever on medication. So once we stopped it, obviously once you stop medication like this, he's going to become very hyperactive. All of a sudden, you're going to start seeing more behaviors. And school suggested that he goes back on the medication, and they were quite
Like a zombie.
Yeah, and they were quite serious about kind of putting him back on the meds, and they were trying to convince me, and I said, "No, there's no way I'm going to go back on the meds." So that's when we decided, no, that was it.
I also remember it like really worsened his repetitive behaviors as well.
Yeah, he started to show really weird kind of behaviors, as in like ticks started coming about. He like making these sounds that he never used to make, like these ticking sounds as well with his mouth.
Yeah.
He'd kind of do this funny look, and kind of his head used to twitch a lot. Yeah, so
So
horrible to see.
I remember, so when we started working together, your four main goals from the program was to stop his self-harming,
Yep,
to able to regulate his emotions better,
yep.
start speaking more in sentences and become more conversational,
Mhm.
and be a lot more calmer.
Yeah,
So after like working with each other and all the strategies we did together,
yeah.
would you say he's achieved that?
100%, all of them. 100%. So the self-harming, it reduced to the point where they couldn't see it anymore.
That's
Now that he's back, new kids, new classroom. Again, they didn't see that for 5 weeks, because now he has the strategies in place. Now he knows what to say and he says it. So he'll either hold the card where it shows calm, or I need a timeout, I need a break. So he's able to say that now. He's able to show that now. And when it becomes too much and he's too overwhelmed, he removes himself from the classroom, just takes a break.
that's good. So he is able
Yeah.
to regulate his emotions much
He
better.
100% now, he's definitely able to regulate his emotions. Sometimes I think that just doesn't work, because it's just so quick. And that's okay. He's human still. Like, he can have those moments when he can't maybe catch it in time, and he just feels overwhelmed. So, but it definitely doesn't worry me as much as it did, because what I saw with the self-harming, I wouldn't want any parent to see that. It was horrible,
Yeah.
or experience that. So that's definitely gone. Speaking sentences, oh, he's definitely doing that. One or two words he was only saying. He's definitely more conversational. Um, he really wants me to see what he's watching. He'll commentate on the film that he's watching, on every scene.
Mm,
And I was watching him saying, "Look, dog jumping over fence. Look, eating this, eat." So he was really just talking about what he was seeing.
yeah.
And we never got that before. And we have weekly speech and language therapy too. And
Yeah.
she's really, really surprised. She's like, "I'm hearing new words."
So, but basically, so in his weekly speech and language therapy, they're now saying he's speaking so many words, and a speech and language therapist is surprised at how well he's doing.
She's so, so surprised. So they kind of like, there's an activity they do every time, every week, because he really likes that. So it's a blank page, and they'll make a picture together. She'll say, "What do you want to make? What picture shall we draw today?" So he picks all the pictures that he wants, and she'll bring it up on the screen, and he just moves it around, enlarges the picture, uses colors, draws anything he likes. But while they're doing that, he has to obviously ask for what he wants. He
Mm,
describes what he wants, what picture he likes, what colors he wants, and he talks about the picture he's made. It turns into kind of like a story.
yeah.
Um, and every week it's just a different picture that they make, and every week it's a different thing that they talk about. So, and she's definitely hearing a lot more new words with him.
So
And
he wasn't like this before the program with his words and sentences.
no, no, I mean, it was very, very slow. So it's very much the same thing every week. So
Yeah.
he was very much fixated on one thing. It was just that every week, every week. There wasn't many new words, or, you know, um, and it was kind of difficult to get him to sit down to do the session.
Yeah.
Whereas now his thing is, as soon as I open the screen, is that, "Here we go." He says, "Here we go," and she
Oh,
knows what that means. Obviously, that means, "Come on, let's get on with it," basically. And she'll
yeah.
be like, "Yeah, here we go," and then they'll start doing their session. And he really finds it so much fun,
That's
and he
good.
can sit there for a whole. He sits there for a whole 20 minutes and
Yeah.
does that SLT session online, which I never thought that would be possible.
So he's got a lot more focus now, and he's got he's not as hyperactive as he was before.
No. Um, Definitely not hyperactive. He's a very happy boy in general anyway.
Yeah.
He does like to show his happiness. And he shows it physically. He does like to touch you, he likes to hug
Mhm.
you, he likes to, and that's just him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so overall, are you happy you did the program? And would you recommend it to other parents?
Overall, I'm very happy with the program. I always knew there was something that has to be something to do with the body and the insides. I knew that. That's why before we started the program, as you know, we were giving him so many supplements and vitamins. I was trying to do something, but I didn't know how to do it. I was just,
Yeah.
going by what I was seeing online. But obviously it was just too many things that I was giving him at the time. And you did break it down.
Yeah. I remember we went,
Husband was like, I'm not sure. And he wasn't happy about doing this.
yeah.
And especially for men, I think for fathers to believe in anything that they have to really pay a lump sum for is really hard, right? So mums in general, I think, are more like, I'll try anything and everything. I don't care how much it is. But I think men think about it more that, do we really need to do this? Does it even work?
Yeah.
So even with TMS, which can work, and some people have shown, I don't know, quite good results from that. But he wasn't sure, that's why we stopped. And then we came across you, and I was like, look, this is this, and this is, the fees, and this is, he didn't even think about it.
Oh, he liked it that much.
Do you know, and the reason why, because like I said, it made sense. He listened, usually he leaves me to do all the decision making when it comes to this, because he knows, I read better and I research better and stuff like that. So he's like, I'll just leave it to you. You know best, whatever you say. But he will still have an opinion. And on this, I thought, oh, there's no way I'm going to convince him. He's going to be like, oh, it's another thing to do with, helping our child. What is this?
Yeah.
Is it going to be another time wasting, money wasting thing that we're going to do here? And
Yeah.
then I sat him down and I said, just listen.
Yeah.
He listened and we read together and we looked into it. I said, doesn't it just make sense? And he
Oh,
said, it does make sense. And he was on it. And when you're both together on something,
yeah.
you're a lot more happier as well. And even though he couldn't join every session with me, I was
Yeah.
telling him exactly what we need to do, and he was on it with me too.
That's good.
That's when we started to see the changes, because we worked together
Yeah.
and we both understood the program together, and we both believed it together.
Yeah.
And this is all science based. That's why we believed it. It made sense.
Yeah.
And we trusted your research, we trusted your knowledge,
Yeah.
and it just, I can't just emphasize it more. It made sense. It really did, and it worked.
For each one, I was like, yeah, don't give him this.
Exactly.
I'm
So
gonna overwhelm him.
when I saw you and I saw your ad on social media, I was like, this makes sense. It, for the first time, something, because I think as a parent, you're always searching for something to help your autistic child, right?
Yeah.
And probably a lot of mums can relate, or dads can relate, that we've probably tried so many different things,
Yeah.
and we're always we're always searching. So when I came about you, and I was like, this actually makes sense, and it feels real. It feels like it can work, and it did work. And I know if you can keep it up and make it consistent, you will continue to see changes in your child as we did.
Yeah.
So the program 100% works. You're real. It's real, and it does work. We've seen the changes. So 100% I would recommend to anyone.
Oh, thank you so much.